Hey folks, this is Billy DKY, the truth seeker that simplifies and demystifies. This video is going to be about promoting following the way. So let's get started. We've been to the moon, but people think scientific principles do not apply to spirituality. What nonsense. I mean, how far do we have to go in civilization as a people to realize spirituality is not exempt from science or scientific principles? Anyway, next point. Notice how when science has a mystery to solve, the talking gets all complicated and mystical, like with dark energy and dark matter. If you don't understand that, you should go look at the way people of the past have thought about certain things before they knew it, like the way that the Earth revolves around the sun and whatnot, and all the complication and mysticism that went around that. And basically somebody comes along, I think it was Galileo, come along and say, you know what, Earth's spinning, it goes around the sun, and that's basically what's happening. It's nothing real complicated. So anyway, then that's when my next point is, then a bright guy comes along and says, look at it this way, and it's all so simple, like Galileo did. And and even after he pointed it out, it still took years for people to really accept it, or at least for the masses to accept it. Next point. Likewise, that same pattern holds true for spirituality as well. The 9 principles in my blog cut through all the complication and mysticism to get to the core of what really works without any lunacy or baggage from the past. We've all encountered spiritual people or religious people who are just hard-headed, lunatics, bringing a ton of baggage into the conversation, tons of belief system into the conversation that doesn't help you one iota. So my point is, in my blog, I get rid of all that and focus on the 9 things that actually work. Now, if you follow the spiritual path, you may have a slightly different look or bent to it, but there'll be only nuances. So anyway, how can you go visit my blog? There's an advertisement that kicked up at 10 seconds into this video, which you can go click on that, and you can go to the blog, or you can go to the information section of this video, click on the link there, and it'll take you to the blog, or you just type the address into your web browser, and the address is Billy, and that's BILLY -followingtheway.blogspot.com. Alright, next page. Now your next point. Too much has already been said about spirituality and religion, as I pointed out in the past, or in the upper part of this video, is, too much has been said. It's not that we don't lack knowledge, it's we have too much knowledge. It's like when you type something in on the internet and you get 50,000 hits. I mean, you can't sort through all the BS. It takes too long. So the good thing is I've done it for you through my own spiritual path. I know what really works because I had to actually use it to save myself. My life got off course, and when it got off course, guess what wasn't going to work? Baloney, false teachings wasn't going to help me at all. So I had to really buckle down and figure out what worked for me. And what I've found in the process is what works for me also works for you. Now, there are things that work for me that don't work for you, or may not work for you, that I didn't mention. I didn't go into all that. And so let's go to the next point. The principles on my blog are simple, but do not underestimate them. If I would have said any more, I would have given you too much information. And I've done this in the past, try to have intellectual conversations with people, and it always leads to the same conclusion. Nothing gets done. No growing happens, and it's basically just a bunch of intellectualism, and that's at a best case scenario. Typically it winds up being an argument, and can even lead to fights, which obviously I haven't done that with, but it can. So my point is this: in short, real spiritual training boils down to one thing and one thing only. Are you growing as a human being? If you're not growing as a human being, you're not really spiritual training, you're just caught up in some belief system. And notice it does also, your spiritual path boils down to only growing, but that's all it's about. It ain't about nothing else. It's about growing and nothing else. It's really that simple. So anyway, I'll give you a brief summary of I don't know if I actually go into it. Let's see if I want to go into it. I'll go into it just a little bit. Here's a brief summary of the 9 principles. First one is baby steps. It's the optimal way to grow is baby steps. If you want to learn more, like I say, go to the blog. Second thing is application. I don't mean application at Walmart. I mean you actually got to apply it. Next one is discipline. You have to discipline your actions. Attention. You have to learn to pay attention to what's going on. Question everything. Enough said. Know your teacher. Reality. Next point. Know your enemies. You only got two of them. Ego and pleasure. May be hard to believe. That's it. Next point. Seek harmony and peace. If you don't seek harmony and peace, you're not going to grow. Next point. Simplicity. You have to learn to be simpler. Complication does not work. If you really are wanting a real spiritual path, you will absolutely love my blog. Not only will you love it because what it says, but you'll love it because what it doesn't say. It doesn't get you, it keeps you from being a spiritual lunatic. Now you're going to be a little lunatic here and there if you're following a spiritual path, but it'll paint itself out in time. So we're just going to avoid getting too caught up in that lunacy. Real quick on my life experiences, just so you know who I am. I fully dedicated myself to science when I was younger. Went to college, blah, blah, blah. Science really didn't give me the freedom that I wanted, so I abandoned it and chose Christianity because we live in a Christian society here in America. Christianity helped me, but it also hurt me. I started judging people a lot. So, you know, and it really wasn't bringing me the freedom I wanted. So I sort of gave up on it, went back to doing nothing because I didn't have, science wasn't going to help me, Christianity wasn't going to help me. So I started doing some yoga, and yoga helped a little bit, and I liked it. But it still didn't bring me everything I wanted. I didn't want just, you know, I wanted more. So I ran into Buddhism. I gave it a try, and it helped quite a bit. But it still left me at a certain point. It didn't have anything else to offer me. Then I went to Taoism, which Taoism was pretty powerful. You know, after I'd studied Buddhism, it helped me quite a bit. Then I think during the process of doing the Buddhism, Taoism stuff, I read some books on the master martial artist, which that helped some because, you know, as you're freeing your mind, you're going to have to learn how to fight yourself. So I apply those principles they learned from fighting other people to conquer myself. I also read some good books on the mind, like Mapping the Mind by Rita Carter, I think is her name. Also read some books on the wisdom of the Native Americans and a host of other books. And basically, there's a point where you move past book knowledge and you move into learning reality for yourself. That's what your end goal is, to learn reality for yourself. And when you learn reality for yourself, it allows you to grow optimally. And so when I said a while ago, your goal on a spiritual path is to grow and nothing else, well, that is true, but your pinnacle goal is to grow optimally and nothing else. So anyway, next point, go visit the blog to learn more. Little information on the blog. I will be working on the blog to make it better. I will also be making more videos to complement the blog, so come back occasionally and see what is going on. Like I said, it's a working process. I basically got the core down. All I'm going to be doing is probably correcting grammar and spelling problems and adding a little bit more meat to it, but the core principles of what's there, I don't see that changing anytime soon. And I don't think it's ever going to change, but it could. I mean, I might have a new revelation or understand something, but I mean, I've been doing this for 8 years, so I don't see a whole lot of change coming. I finally found what I wanted to say, and that's what this video is all about, is promoting it. Go visit the blog. I think you'll enjoy it. Anyway, if you don't mind, please rate the video. Later, folks, and good luck on your journey.